Hello, pet! Today we are going to learn about reading parts 5 and 6. Let us start with reading part 5. This is the multiple choice clause. What is this? Well, in this exercise, you are given a short text with 6 gaps or questions. These 6 gaps have 4 options for you to decide on only one. So you have to choose between A, B, C or D to complete the text. Now, how much does this part of the exam score? Well, you have 6 questions and it has a total of 6 marks. So that means that there is 1 mark for each question. But what is it tested? Well, you are tested mainly on vocabulary, but you can also find some grammar in this part of the exam. And how can we solve it? Well, let's see some tips. Number 1, read carefully. It's very important, as in all parts of the exam, that you read instructions very carefully, because this will tell you what to do. Apart from that, you have to read the text first so you can get a general idea of what it is about. And after that, you can start working these options out. So you can read the different options and you choose only one. Of course, the one that you think that best fits with the text. But be careful, because sometimes they are confusing. So, something important to take into account as well is that you should decide why the other options are incorrect. So, you choose, for example, option A. Okay, great, that's awesome, but why B, C, and D are incorrect? That's something important because it justifies your answer. You are not going to be required to justify your answer in this part of the exam, but it will give you some relief when you work on it so you feel more relaxed. And finally, once you've finished, read again the whole text with answers included. So in this way, you can check your work. Now, that's part 5. Let's see reading part 6. This part of the exam is called the open close. What is it about? Well, you are given a short text with 6 gaps again, but this time there are no options. Here you have to complete with one word only that comes to your mind. So it's the word that you think. How much does it score? Well, again you have 6 questions with 6 marks in total. That means that each question scores 1 mark. What is it tested here? Well, here you are tested on grammar, phrasal verbs, and fixed expressions. So, for example, in grammar you can find gaps with prepositions or linking words. Then, with fixed expressions, we can find what we call idiomatic expressions, which we are going to work on later. How can we solve this? Well, let's see some tips as well. In this part of the exam, it is also important that you read carefully both instructions and the text again, so you can get a general understanding. Meaning that you understand what the text is about. Once you know that, well, pay attention to the words that come to your mind, because sometimes they are correct. Maybe because they are parts of fixed expressions or the typical phrasal verbs, prepositions, as I was saying before. Still, pay attention. Read the sentence carefully in which the word is missing so you can decide on the best word taking into account grammar and vocabulary. So the context is essential. That you read the sentence is essential for this part of the exam. Once you have written these words, check spelling. Sometimes they can be, when we write very fast, we may confuse on some words or some letters, and also check meaning. That is also important. I mean, is it what you really need in this gap? And then finally, once you finish, read again the complete text, including your answers, so you can check your work. Well, I hope all these tips have worked for you, and today we have learned how to work on reading parts 5 and 6 from your preliminary exam for the schools in this case.